Hey everyone, it's Fitz with the Power Talk. Following Kansas State's press conference on Monday, I'm going to confess something to you. I took a nap after the press conference, and I'm just now getting to this about 3 hours later. I didn't take a 3 hour nap. But yeah, I rested, and that's kind of the theme of this Power Talk. Everyone needs a rest now and then, and those of us who haven't even played the football games or had charter flights, uh, are exhausted. Everyone connected with Kansas State football is really tired. I mean, it's not great to have back to back road games, but it's a reality and scheduling that happens. Usually have one of those every year at least. This year, though, it was 3 out of 4 on the road. Yeah, you had an off week in there too, but you played late night at BYU, and that kind of threw you off leading up to Oklahoma State, but then you had an off week to kind of catch up. And you got another late night at Colorado. Man, those Big 12 after darks eat you up when you're part of it. They're awfully fun to watch, though. And then you head out to West Virginia for a night game. Back to back road night games, not exactly close to home either. So, yeah, people are tired. And they get to come home for Kansas on Saturday. It's a night game, but it's at least at home. Kansas doesn't even have far to travel. They can sleep in their own bed, so that's okay. Then you go to Houston next week. That's right. You got, 3 out of 4 here where they are on the road. And that's pretty exhausting, but you get an off week and a couple home games after that. So it'll be a nice week of one game on the road out of 5 weeks. And that's manageable. And I think that's a perfect time for this team to kind of catch up on its level of exhaustion. And they all talk about it. Coach Klieman admits it. He's adjusted their schedules. They're starting some of their stuff a little bit later. He's allowing for more sleep. And the guys seem to be handling it. Even the young guys are feeling it. And that's how stressful it's been. But that is just life in the Big 12 now. You're going to run into this. And when you're a team that is doing as well as Kansas State, you're going to play a lot of night games. And the new Big 12 windows offer more night games than afternoon games. You notice the 11 a.m. games are a lot less frequent now, as those games have been shifted pretty much to the Big Ten and the SEC, which probably pleases Oklahoma that hates those and now is in the conference that gets more of those. But the Big 12 is ending up with a lot of really good time slots, actually. I've been a little bit surprised. Playing those night games, not just on any channel, on Fox and ESPN, is pretty valuable. And this game, of course, with Kansas, is always valuable to K-State players and fans. This one feels weird. And the reason is we all expected these two teams to be dynamic at the top of the conference and playing for something really of substance in this game. And we all know Kansas has had struggles and lost a bunch of close games. But there couldn't be a more deceiving record than KU's 2-5. It really couldn't be more deceiving. It's a good team, and Jaden Daniels is a good quarterback that went through some struggles, and they seem to be straightening things out now. They've had an off week, and they played Houston, kind of a get-better game, and they'll be coming in to Manhattan with much lower expectations from outside forces than any of us really imagined at the start of the year. We thought this would be an epic showdown of two ranked teams from Kansas. Well, Kansas State's up to 16, and KU is well below water. But KU's still a really good football team, and that was a big theme also of this press conference. They're not fooled by what Kansas has experienced, and in fact, they know that it's probably hardened them up a little bit. They've lost a lot of close games, and they're going to be pretty hungry in this one. After all, if you're Kansas and you've had everything go wrong that can go wrong, beating K-State would be pretty satisfying. And let's be honest, I think Avery Johnson was in kindergarten or younger the last time Kansas won this game. That's right, 15 straight wins for K-State. And after asking Chris Klieman about that today, he made sure I knew that doesn't matter. None of it matters. It's just this game. And actually, they want to guard against getting too hyped for this game because they tend to maybe over-prepare, go over the top. Coach Klieman did say something really interesting, that he noticed getting off the bus at West Virginia, the team didn't kind of have that same pep, didn't have that focus he saw the week before at Colorado, and it was worrisome. They got it going. And once they got to halftime, and let's be honest, when Garrett Green couldn't come back, it was pretty obvious where that game was headed. But he knows that facing Kansas, there'll be plenty of fire in the belly. And the guarding is against too much and getting over the top. KU was really good last year, and Lawrence, they're probably the better team that lost the game. And that can happen to good teams. This year, K-State is clearly the better team, but the outcome remains in doubt. And if K-State doesn't recover from their travels, doesn't get focused fully on this game, and doesn't embrace the opportunity to win another football game and realize that Kansas is coming for blood because this saves a little bit of dignity, then K-State could be in trouble. I don't see that happening, but it is a rivalry. And in tomorrow's DD, I'm going to talk about that rivalry and how cool it actually is.